This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and today I'm making fresh banana muffins. This is a great recipe to have on hand for those times when you have a couple of extra bananas left over that are starting to go soft. They come together really quickly and they're great for breakfast. This recipe makes 12 muffins, so I'm going to take my 12-cup muffin pan. I'm going to line it with some paper liners. Now I'm going to set my pan to the side and get a large mixing bowl out, and that's what I'm going to mix these muffins up in. I'm going to start by measuring out my dry ingredients. So I want to measure out 1.5 cups of flour and put that into my bowl. And to that I'm going to add 1.5 cups of sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. Now I keep the nuts that I use for baking and cooking in the freezer. That way they're always fresh. Now with my spatula, I'm going to mix all those dry ingredients together. Now come the wet ingredients. I have 1/2 cup of butter that I've melted. And with that butter, I'm just going to toss the flour in with it just a little bit because it's still warm. Then I'm going to add 2 fresh bananas. Now one of these bananas is a lot older than the other one, but both will work fine. And what I do is I take the banana and I kind of mash it up in the skin, and then I just open it up and take the fruit and put it right into the batter. So it's kind of pre-mashed for me. And I'm going to do the same thing with the second one. I don't like my banana to be totally pureed. I like to have a little bit of chunk to it. So by pre-mashing it in the skin, I kind of get that. Now I'm going to mix that in a little bit. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla, and my secret ingredient for these muffins is some non-fat sour cream. And I'm going to measure out 1/2 cup of that and put that into the bowl as well. Now those are all the ingredients, so now it's just a question of mixing this all together. Now when you are mixing, there's a couple things you want to look for. One, you want to make sure that all the egg and the sour cream is mixed together with the rest of the ingredients. And then before you start scooping this batter into the pan, make sure that all of the dry ingredients mixed in. Sometimes there's a pocket of flour and that won't taste good at all in your muffin. Now this makes 12 nice sized muffins, but I do want to make sure that all the batter is divided evenly into the muffin pans. So what I do is I start by using my medium cookie scoop, and I put 1 medium-sized scoop into each well. Then once I have a little bit in each of the muffin tins, then I can go back and divide the rest of the batter up. Now you can see these fill up really nicely, so this is going to be a nice size muffin. I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and these muffins are going to bake for about 20 minutes. Now when these come out of the oven, they should be nice and golden brown like this, but do take a toothpick and pop it into the center to make sure that they've baked all the way through. Now this light part you see here, this is actually a piece of banana, so you may have some light parts that come up on top of the muffin, but if you test with the toothpick, then you know that they're baked through. I'm going to let these cool in the pan here for about 5 minutes. Now the muffins have started to cool, and because these are so large, I'm going to use a paring knife to help get them out of the pan. I'm just going to run it along the edge of the muffin just to kind of loosen it up, and then I'm going to take my fork and just pop it right out onto my cooling rack. Now these muffins can be eaten right away, or you can let them cool on the rack for a half an hour or so. Well, if you'd like to give these fresh banana muffins a try at home, just go to our website and visit the Nothin But Muffins show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.